All right, folks, welcome back to another edition. As always, we got the big man, Big Rob. How we doing?
Good at yourself there, Tom.
Not too bad there, Big Rob. It's extremely shitty outside.
It's
We're
terrible.
we're a day late and a dollar short on this podcast, and that's me. Hands up. Got to call a spade a spade. I had some technical difficulties over here with the new router that was installed. My computer was not connecting, and I had to watch an hour YouTube video, Rob, and I had to update a drive on my computer. It was ridiculous. So I was down all day yesterday. Actually, we tried to do it, and then I got
Yep.
a little crazy. I unplugged the repeater out in the garage. We lost all connection, and it was there. It was over. So
Yeah.
my apologize. My
It
apologies.
happens, man.
Yeah, I just we were talking about it earlier. Anything to do with like tech and computers or phones or TVs, I get so worked up so easily because I don't think it should ever take more than like 20 minutes.
Sure.
I
Yeah.
get flustered. Anyways, so apologies to the faithful. We're a day late, which means the Genesis has already started, but
Right. Right.
we'll get to that. I think you said Rombo's leading that right now. Max is up on the lead.
Yep.
Cooch is in the mix, but we're gonna recap. I know it was last week. We're gonna recap real quick the waste management. Rob, did you catch any of the waste management?
Yeah, I watched a good portion of it. Finished watching it out at the bar I was at the Whistle on Sunday right before the Super Bowl. But yeah, no, it was entertaining. I enjoyed it. It was 16's just nuts. It's absolutely just crazy. Like, and to think about like having to sit there, and it was interesting to see like them not be able to judge the win, right? For most of their shots in the 4 days. That was, crazy to see, like, going to the left of the green and everything like that. But
Yeah,
no, it was a great tournament. I loved everything about it.
I watched a ton of it. Yeah, phenomenal. I thought we'd have a better ending, but regardless, Scotty, the guy just won't go away, man. We've talked about, you know,
Sure.
the
Yep.
potential of him kind of fizzling out. Hasn't happened. I think he's won twice now since we've said that. So it looks like Scotty's, he's going to be around. He's not going anywhere. What did you think about the streaker on 16?
I caught it on Twitter. I didn't get to see it. I didn't really notice it or hear anything about it until I was scrolling Twitter on that
Yeah,
night. His mug shot or whatever you want to call it was just fantastic. I mean,
yeah,
the mullet, type deal thing was just it was yeah. I couldn't. There's just no words, but that was funny.
yeah. It was. I thought it was hilarious at first, and then when he started running down 17, I'm like, okay, when is this gonna end? And then he jumped in the water. I'm like, okay, this is funny again. All in all, great tournament. Um, Last day was kind of weird. Rombo fell off. Nick Taylor,
Sure.
shout out to him. He played well. He kind of fell off on 16, and then Scotty, what went birdie par birdie to end it.
Yeah, I mean his putting on Sunday. I mean, for like every drive he hit, it seemed like that I saw went left.
Yeah,
Like, and he just picked it up with his, approach shots, and his putting was on point on Sunday. It was like his ball just rolls like smooth, right? Yeah, not too fast, not just like it felt like every putt was perfect speed wise, and it just dropped in. Like that putt on 16 was
16.
huge, I thought.
Oh, it was humongous. It would have been a big spot for Rombo or Nick Taylor to drop a bird,
Yeah.
but everybody, like you said, went off the green. Yeah, Scotty just crazy. I mean, he said obviously he didn't have his best stuff. It was around kind of reminiscent of like Spieth, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a
Mm-hmm.
a scramble round, but
Duct tape.
and Scotty said like he didn't have his stuff, and the guy shot what 65, like crazy. I mean, for him to even put up that score where, I don't know how many fairways he even hit, but he definitely didn't hit it well. But somehow the guy always manages to get up and down, and next thing you know, he's 6, 7 under. So
Yeah.
it's crazy, but it's good to see him win again. Again, the waste management, unbelievable. Now we got the Genesis, which kicked off this morning. We talked a little bit about that. I think Rombo's still leading. Tiger's back.
Yeah.
I think he tees off what in probably like a half hour, something like
Something
that.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then speaking of Tiger also being back, we have the relaunch of the TW13s, which dropped this morning.
Yes.
And Big Rob helped me out. So Big Rob is into the shoe game. Gave me all sorts of tips and pointers about putting my info into the Nike app. Make sure everything's all ready to go for when it drops, because they're going to be gone right away. Anyhow, long story short, I was able to get 2 pairs of the TW13.
Yeah, you're set.
One on behalf of Big Rob. So shout out Big Rob. Also, little birdie told me, Rob, did you win some dough on Super Bowl?
Yeah. Yeah, no, Super Bowl was great. I've been in a pool, the same pool for, I don't know, it feels like forever. So probably 10 to 15 years. And, I always get shit numbers. Always. It is what it is. Like, I never have a horseshoe on my ass, but sometimes I luck out on strip cards, stuff like that.
Right.
But for this pool, I just never hit. Like, and the numbers came out, whatever, Wednesday last week prior to Super Bowl, and I had 4-4. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, here we go again. Just another donation to this pool. So then I got asked Thursday night late to jump into $1,000 strip card for halftime and for final, right? So obviously it's $200, get you in for each card. So those numbers, I got 5 for halftime and 1 for final. And, a buddy of mine was looking to get in strip cards. I'm like, well, here, I'll split this with you. We each get, whatever. We'll each make $500 if we hit the said strip card. So he was at the bar with me. So the guy that runs the pool, the buddy that runs the pool, the guy that got a strip card, and we're sitting there. And it was like, what, 14-14 with like 9 minutes left in the second. I was like, that's not going to hold. There's no way 4-4 is going to hold, right? So then, we're just standing there watching it, and all of a sudden, it's 14-21. Now it's 5. I'm like, holy shit! Now my buddy's like, hey, listen, we got that $1,000 strip card, which I totally forgot about. I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome. And then my other buddy's like, dude, you got 4-4. Why don't you? Are you cheering for 4-4? I'm like, yeah. So I feel bad because I'm like, trying to cheer for 5 for my buddy for $500 each, or so I cheer for 4-4 for $2,500 on my own.
So you hit half. So you hit half.
So I hit half. Yeah. So we're sitting there. We're standing. I don't know if you've been to the bar. We're at the edge of the bar.
Yeah.
I'm sitting there like, holy shit, watching it with it, and I'm like, then in my head, like at that minute, I'm like, do I really have 4-4? I better check this.
Yeah,
better check this pool to make sure I have 4-4.
So what?
But yeah, Elliot kicked that field goal, and I just fucking went nuts. And then it was funny. The guy that was running the pool had a strip card for $1,000 too, I think, and he had 8, so he hit it, and then it was hilarious. So yeah, I ended up, this is the first year I've won big on a pool and stuff like that. So that, and then hit a final strip card too. So it was a good day. It was a good day. In turn, I treated myself to 3 new wedges. So
I'm not surprised to hear that.
Yeah. And I gotta do unboxing because they were delivered yesterday. So I got those TA3 wedges from Sub 70. So I'm pumped for that. But yeah, one nice, good amount of money, and it's for that, and obviously for the Sand Valley trip. So I'm excited.
There you go. Well, congrats, Big Rob. So
I appreciate
that field goal with like 2 minutes left was huge.
No, with like 30. Oh, you mean at the end of the game, the final game?
No. Oh, was it with like 30 seconds left?
So the halftime kick was with like, I think 8 seconds left.
Oh,
it was. Yeah. So like, I thought they were going to ice them, and I'm sitting there like, oh shit, and then they didn't. And then, when the other funny part thing was that the strip card I won at the end, when he slid to keep the clock going, I was like, holy shit, they're going to kick a field goal. I'm going to win this strip card. So I was like, man, I felt like I did have a horseshoe on my ass. But yeah, it was a good one.
I didn't even think about that. Now that you say that, I can't even imagine guys who had,
fuck yeah, dude,
to get, whatever it would have been.
Sure, yeah.
What was the final? 38-35?
Yeah, 3. Yep, yep. Mm-hmm.
So, whatever it was, 2 and 5.
30. Yeah, right. Yeah,
Oh
I
man,
was.
I would have been sick.
Well, so then another person there won huge on whatever pool they were in, so they were going nuts. I forget what the experience is like watching a Super Bowl in a bar because it's been so long. So it was kind of entertaining because you're right. You see people like, oh, or like get all pissed or get all happy or like fucking, slam the table. So
Yeah.
it was pretty interesting.
Right. Yeah. Last Sunday was just a great day all around. Obviously, the Waste Management, the Super Bowl. And then we had the Full Swing doc dropped
Yeah.
yesterday. Did you
Yeah.
catch the first episode of that?
So I stayed up and watched the first 4 episodes last night.
Ooh.
I want to try to push through all of them because I guess I call them spoilers because I'm getting pissed at how many people are talking about it on Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to see that yet. Like, Kyle Porter was literally breaking down every single
episode.
thing. And I'm like, come on, man, you don't need to do that. We all can't stay up all night and watch the whole series through. And half of these guys, like Shotgun Start and all of them, they got to watch it 2 weeks ago. They got early access, so it's like just let us enjoy it. But yeah, no, I watched the first 4 episodes. The first one, the Frenemies, I thought was pretty good. Obviously, you could tell they're out of order. I know Shotgun Star brought that up this morning on their pod, but you could definitely tell like they kind of switched them because the second episode with
Brooks.
I don't know what you watch. I don't want to give it away, but with Brooks Koepka and Scotty, that should have been the first one, and I think that was meant to be the first one.
Yeah.
But no, I thought the first episode was great. Like I thought it was cool because I have some degenerate friends that gamble, right? And they gamble over stupid stuff. And even at like the Paw Paw Cup, we'll sit there with a deck of cards and bet, a couple $100 on maybe high card, not what card to pull. So that was kind of funny seeing them do that in the plane.
Yeah.
And just being like normal dudes like us, right? So it was interesting for sure. I enjoyed it. I've never seen the F1 one, so I can't compare to see how they, how close how they, produce it wise. But no, I enjoyed it. The first 4 episodes are great. The Brooks one is, to me, eye opening to see like his mental process and his thought on maybe why he did go to live type deal thing. So it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes, the second episode last night. First episode I thought was good. I thought it was a little too scripted.
Oh yeah, I mean that the phone call with the best man speech.
It was okay. I liked, that whole relationship though, but yeah, episode 2 I thought was pretty good. As much as Brooks kind of irks me, I thought it was pretty good insight. He does seem a little off, just like mentally. Yeah, I don't know, especially when he missed the cut at the Masters, you could tell like, something wasn't right. And then obviously for Scotty to win it, but then Brooks to say like, hey, that should have been me. So yeah, through 2
yeah, I get why they have like I see the whole mental side of why they have to say they're the best and stuff like that, or they have to pump themselves up. But like, yeah, it was very, very, very interesting to see. Like, maybe I'm not that good anymore, not as good as these guys, or these guys are just too good. And the whole injury thing with Brooks about that stuff. I didn't even know that he had a hip injury. I just thought it was his knees.
Yeah.
So and then like that whole takeaway. And the first episode too was really cool with Justin and his dad, right? I thought that was a cool aspect how they played on that. I wish they did show a little bit more Spieth like on that end, or like
of course
what work he puts into it type deal thing, not just them playing a practice round.
Yeah,
but yeah, the whole Brooks, yeah, it was like holy crap. And then I don't know. And then I don't want to get too far ahead in the third episode, but when they start really introducing the whole live thing, it's like, man, this is, I think like they said today, what Shipnuck say today that there's some rumblings that like Brooks is regretting, going over there. So it's like now him saying that, you see that in that episode of, maybe he went over there because he wanted to take that payday and maybe he wasn't that, he's not mentally there to be what he used to be. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it is very, very entertaining. I didn't want to stop watching episodes, but I didn't want to go through them too quickly either, you know?
Yeah, I'm gonna get back on the train tonight. Hopefully, pound out a couple. I was just gonna mention that I saw on Twitter, I think last night on my way home, that there was an article or somebody put it out that he might be regretting the decision. And maybe that stems from like the competitiveness. I would imagine. Because obviously he doesn't need the money, but the way that he is, or the way that it comes off that he is,
Yeah.
you could kind of see that, playing and live, that might be the case, because the guy just is super fiery. All he does, he just wants to win.
Yeah, it was like in the episode when he showed like his trophy case, right? And the middle one's for the Masters trophy,
right.
like he really cares about that, right? But isn't his eligibility is up pretty soon, right? Like to get into that for like at least the Masters, I thought. I know like he's got what does he get, 10 years for US Open? I don't know what he gets for PGA, and pretty soon, I don't think, because of his world rankings, he's not gonna be able to play the Masters,
Yeah, there was a couple things that were pretty. So one was like the domination of Spieth when he came in on tour, and then you kind of had that same thing with Brooks, winning 4 majors in 2 years, and then you had Scotty come in. So that was all like I just didn't think about all that and how quick it took place, especially in Brooks's case. And then, like you said, he's like, I was the best player in the world for 3 years. Like he couldn't be touched. And then, kind of what Scotty did the last couple of years is very reminiscent of what Brooks did. But all in all, the episode's been great. So I can't wait to dive into that tonight. And hopefully, like I said, watch at least 2 more. And then
the Joel Damon one was good. Just a heads up. I thought that was a really cool insight on him. So
what episode is that?
Well, it's either 3 or 4, but it breaks down him and what he's gone through, and Homa's in it. But yeah, that was a good episode.
Gotcha. I'll have to look out for that.
Because his caddy is fucking funny. Oh, is it Joe, whatever his name, or but anyways, that's a great episode.
Yeah. In other news, Rob, our February newsletter dropped on Monday? Yeah, the day after the Super Bowl. 2023 schedule releases are out. We had a lot more info in there in terms of the rendezvous, the new a tester rule for playing in a foursome. A lot of good stuff in there. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, make sure to check your email. We have the golf show coming up next weekend.
Yes, Rob. We do.
That's going to be a good time. So there's just a lot going on. There's been golf has been, at all-time high right now. And usually I feel like the season doesn't kick off until like the players, right?
Yeah.
Now it's kicked off way earlier. I think that with the addition of the swing dock, or the full swing dock, the Tiger news, like there's just a lot going on. And then you add on top of that, everything that's going on in the CGT. It's been a great month. And before you know it, the 2023 season is going to be here, Rob. So
I know
registration opens up March 1st. So that's 2 weeks away. But we're going to jump right into the Book It with T Genesis picks. Obviously, the event has already started, but T did send them over. So we'll just fire those off real quick. His long shot, Lowry, 100-1. Montgomery, 70-1. Scott, 60-1. Zalatoris, 35-1. And T's favorite, M, 30-1. And you could have booked it with T. So those are his picks. As I mentioned before, Rob, check out the newsletter. Also, merch. I think that's probably going to be going out early next week.
Yeah.
Other than that, Rob, we're going to jump right into the top 3. Are you ready for that?
I'm ready for the top 3.
All right, hit me.
All right. So with Super Bowl Sunday last week and everything like that, and being at a bar and all the good food, what are your top 3 appetizers
in the 3-hole, Rob? I'm going to go with shrimp, preferably fried shrimp. Number 2, I'm going to stick in the seafood game, and I'm going to go calamari. Grilled Yeah, grilled or fried, either
Okay.
or. Preferably fried, but I do mess around with grilled. And then number one, I don't know. Technically, it's probably not an appetizer, but it could be. I'm gonna go sausage and peppers.
Okay. Never really thought of it as an appetizer, but yeah,
All right. Well,
somebody puts it out, then that's fine.
I do. Do you want a substitute?
If you have one offhand, sure.
Offhand, I would go. Give me the sampler platter. So give me
Yeah.
give me give me it all.
Yeah, right.
How
A
about
little
you?
bit of everything.
Right.
Oh, that's good. You know, man, shrimp is a great call because we usually have that at every single event, and it's not even on my list. So that's got to be an honorable mention for me. But man, that was a good call. Are you a big seafood tower guy?
Seafood tower.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm kind of picky in general. So
Okay.
when it comes to seafood, there's only like a few things I mess with. Like fish, I only mess with whitefish. Like I won't eat salmon.
Okay.
So there's like maybe 8 total things that I mess around with
Okay.
In the seafood category. Like oysters, you couldn't pay me.
Oh, I know. I'm on the same boat, man. Oysters are disgusting.
Yeah, you couldn't pay me.
I remember being in Florida having for the first time with like the jelly and stuff. I almost gagged it back up.
I was stationed with a guy who was from Boston. He had me try them every single way. Raw, nope. Rockefeller, nope. Even on a cracker with hot sauce, no. I just couldn't get it down.
What about lobster? Are you a lobster guy?
Oh, love lobster.
Okay.
Love lobster. What are your top 3 apps?
My top 3. I guess it'd be the same thing. I guess you could consider it a meal or not, but wings. Always got to go with wings in the 3-hole. Love wings. 2, big, huge potato skin guy. Love potato skins. All the sour cream you can have. That's just a big guy thing right there. But yes, love potato skins. Number 1 is I make it myself. It's called chipped beef ball. You know what that is?
Yeah, I've heard of it. It's that big round block of chipped beef and cheese, and then
yeah. So it's like, it's cream cheese, green onion. I use corned beef actually. You make it into a ball and stuff like that, and you have it with crackers or whatever. It's good on a spread of a salami sandwich too, to be honest with you, if you want to get real into it.
I think my sister usually does that for Thanksgiving. Speaking of wings, Rob, did you have your Parmesan wings at the Whistle?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Killed those things. Ate them too quick. Wanted to order more, but I went to town on them. I don't think there was a piece left on the bone.
Yeah. Honorable mention. I'm a big garlic bread guy.
Oh yeah.
Give me some cheesy garlic bread.
Texas toast.
Yeah, side of marinara or something like that.
That's a good call.
Yeah, I love garlic bread. Other than that, Rob, we have still a bunch coming. Like I said, registration opens up in a couple weeks. Right now, the only people that have access to the schedules are people who subscribe to the newsletter.
Yep.
We're probably going to be dropping those schedules this upcoming week to the public. So, like I said, if you haven't seen them, jump into your newsletter, take a gander. Also, the 2-man best ball tournaments were announced, those dates and courses. We're still potentially waiting on one to be determined course to add to that list. But for now, the ones that are in the newsletter have been finalized. So a lot going on, a lot of great things.
Yeah, come see us at the golf show if you're there too.
Yeah, we'll let's see. Yeah, our next pod should be out before that, but come see us at booth 734. We're right near the bar. Can't miss us. But until next time, Rob, we'll see you in the fairway.
See you in the fairway, Tom.
See you, buddy.